Young black boy runs to police station yelling, "Catch my ammo?" And the shocking reason behind. Welcome to the heartwarming journey of Malik and Lisa in Maplewood, where the power of community and wellness intertwine. Join us as we explore their inspiring efforts to foster connection, resilience, and health among families, transforming struggles into triumphs, and building a legacy of love and support for generations to come. In the quiet town of Maplewood, where the sun cast gentle rays through the trees and the air carried the sweet scent of blooming flowers, young Malik awoke to the sound of his alarm clock ringing. It was a Saturday, but even the prospect of a day off could not shake the unease that had settled in the pit of his stomach. Malik rubbed his eyes and swung his legs over the side of his bed, his bare feet meeting the cool wooden floor. He took a moment to gather his thoughts, trying to shake off the remnants of sleep that clung to him like a fog. The reality of his situation was heavy on his mind. The worry for his mother, Lisa, loomed larger than ever. After a quick shower and a change into comfortable clothes, Malik made his way to the kitchen. As he stepped into the small, familiar space, he was greeted by the comforting aroma of coffee brewing and the sound of a pan sizzling on the stove. But the warmth of the scene did little to ease his concern. There stood Lisa, his mother, with her back to him as she busily prepared breakfast. He could see the way her shoulders slumped, the slight tremor in her hands as she worked. Malik's heart ached at the sight of her, weary and worn down from the long hours she spent working as a nurse at the local hospital. "Morning, Mom," he said softly, not wanting to startle her. She turned, her tired smile attempting to mask the fatigue that had settled into her features. "Good morning, sweetheart. You're up early today." As Malik slid into a chair at their small kitchen table, he took in the dark circles under her eyes and the messy ponytail that held her hair back. She looked as if she hadn't rested properly in days, a fact that did not go unnoticed by her observant son. "Are you okay?" Malik asked, his voice filled with genuine concern. "You look really tired." "Oh, I'm fine, honey," Lisa replied, waving her hand dismissively as she set a plate of scrambled eggs in front of him. "Just a bit sleepy, that's all. Nothing a good cup of coffee won't fix." But Malik was not convinced. He watched her pour the coffee, her hands shaking slightly, and felt a lump form in his throat. She had always been his rock, the one who took care of him, and seeing her struggle made his heart ache. "Maybe you should take a day off," he suggested carefully, trying to sound casual. "You've been working so much lately." Lisa's face softened, but she shook her head gently. "We need the money, and people at the hospital count on me. I'll be fine, I promise." The conversation left Malik feeling helpless. He pushed his scrambled eggs around his plate, his appetite suddenly gone. His mother's brave face was beginning to crack, and he longed to help her. "Mom," he began again, searching for a way to keep her engaged. "How's work been lately? Any interesting patients?" "Just the usual," she replied, blinking slowly as if trying to shake off the exhaustion that threatened to pull her under. "Busy. You know how it is." Malik noticed how her gaze seemed unfocused, a sign that she was not fully present. He pressed on, hoping to pull her out of her daze. "I have a big math test coming up next week. Maybe we could study together this weekend?" Her eyes widened slightly, as if remembering something important. "Oh, that's right. Your test." She hesitated, looking momentarily confused. "I think I'm working this weekend." "Honey, I'm so sorry." Malik's heart sank. His mom had never forgotten about his test before. He tried to hide his disappointment as he nodded. "That's okay, Mom. I understand." Despite his words, a heaviness settled in his chest. He could see through her forced smile, the struggle beneath it, and the way she kept blinking hard as if fighting against the drowsiness that threatened to overtake her. As they finished their breakfast in silence, Malik's worry deepened. He wished he could do more to ease the burden weighing on his mother's shoulders, but all he could do was watch and worry. Lisa hurried to get ready for work, moving with a sluggish urgency. Malik stood in the doorway of her bedroom, watching as she fumbled with her clothes, dropping things as she rushed to dress in her nurse's uniform. "Mom, let me help you," he offered, stepping forward to pick up a fallen hairbrush. She paused, giving him a tired smile. "That's sweet of you, honey, but I've got this. You should be getting ready for school." Malik hesitated before speaking up again. "I could do some chores around the house today. Maybe clean up the living room or do some laundry." Lisa's eyes softened with affection, but she shook her head. "No, no. You focus on your studies. That's the most important thing right now." As she turned back to the mirror, Malik noticed how her hands trembled slightly. His stomach twisted with worry. He had never seen his mom like this before, so drained and unfocused. "Are you sure you're okay to go to work?" he asked, his voice small and uncertain. Lisa met his gaze in the mirror, forcing a bright smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Of course, sweetie. It's just a long shift. That's all. I'll be fine once I get there." Malik nodded, unconvinced, as he watched his mother gather her things. Her movements were slow and clumsy. She nearly forgot her ID badge, only remembering when Malik pointed it out. As they headed for the front door, Malik's mind raced. He had to do something to help her. But what? She always insisted on doing everything herself, never wanting to burden him with adult responsibilities. "Have a good day at school, honey," Lisa said, giving him a quick hug. "I love you." "Love you too, Mom," Malik replied, hugging her tightly. He didn't want to let go, afraid she might collapse the moment he released her. As Lisa walked to her car, Malik stood in the doorway, his heart heavy with concern. He made a silent promise to himself. He would find a way to help his mom take care of herself. The day at school dragged on, filled with math problems and classmates chatting. But Malik's mind was elsewhere. His thoughts were consumed with images of his mom's tired face and unsteady steps. What if she collapsed at work? What if she got into an accident because she was too tired to drive safely? When the lunch bell finally rang, Malik barely noticed as he mechanically packed up his books and shuffled towards the cafeteria. His best friend, Jason, caught up with him in the hallway. "Hey, man, what's up?" Jason asked cheerfully, but his smile faded when he saw Malik's troubled expression. "You okay?" Malik shrugged, unsure how to put his worries into words. They grabbed their lunch trays and found a quiet corner to sit. "It's my mom," Malik finally admitted, pushing his food around with his fork. "She's working so hard, and I'm really worried about her." Jason listened intently as Malik poured out his fears. He told him about how tired Lisa looked that morning, how she stumbled and seemed out of it. "That sounds serious," Jason said, his brow furrowing with concern. "Have you talked to anyone about this?" Malik shook his head. "Who would I talk to? It's just me and Mom at home." Jason thought for a moment. What about a teacher or the school counselor? They might know how to help. The idea hadn't occurred to Malik before. "I don't know. What if they think I'm overreacting? Or what if they call my mom and she gets upset? But what if they can actually help?" Jason countered. "It's worth a try, isn't it? Your mom's health is important." Malik nodded slowly. His friend had a point, but the thought of talking to an adult about his family's problems made him nervous. Who could he trust? Would they really understand? As the lunch period came to an end, Malik still felt uncertain. He knew he needed to do something, but taking that first step seemed daunting. When he stepped into the quiet house later that day, the silence enveloped him like a heavy blanket. He dropped his backpack by the door and stood there for a moment, listening. The tick of the clock on the wall seemed unnaturally loud in the empty space. "Mom," he called out, even though he knew she wouldn't be home yet. Her shift wouldn't end for hours. With a sigh, Malik trudged to the kitchen and opened the fridge, staring blankly at its contents before closing it again. He wasn't hungry. The worry that had been gnawing at him all day seemed to have taken up all the space in his stomach, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling. Malik settled at the kitchen table with his homework. He opened his math textbook, determined to focus on the problems in front of him. But after reading the same question 3 times without understanding it, he gave up. His mind kept drifting back to his mom. Was she okay? What if she had gotten dizzy again at work? What if she had fainted and no one had noticed? Malik glanced at the clock. 4:30 p.m. Angela wouldn't be home until after 11. The thought of those long hours stretched out before him made his chest tighten with anxiety. He got up and paced around the living room, trying to calm his racing thoughts. But everywhere he looked, he saw reminders of his mom, her favorite mug on the coffee table, her sweater draped over the back of a chair. Each item seemed to mock him, highlighting her absence and fueling his fears. As the evening wore on, Malik's imagination ran wild. He pictured Lisa collapsing in a hospital hallway, too exhausted to call for help. He imagined her falling asleep at the wheel on her drive home, her car veering off the road. Each scenario was more terrifying than the last, and Malik felt powerless to stop them from playing out in his mind. He tried watching TV, but he couldn't focus on the show. He attempted to read a book, but the words blurred together on the page. Even his usual video games couldn't hold his attention. The house felt too big, too empty, and the silence was deafening. As night fell, Malik sat on the living room couch, his eyes glued to the front door. The TV droned on in the background, but he wasn't really watching it. His phone lay on the coffee table, silent and still. He kept willing it to buzz with a message from his mom, but it remained stubbornly quiet. Just as Malik was considering calling the hospital to check on Lisa, his phone lit up. His heart leaped as he snatched it up, fumbling in his haste to read the message. Working late tonight. Honey, don't wait up. Love you. Malik's shoulders sagged with a mix of relief and disappointment. At least she was okay, but the thought of her working even longer hours made his stomach churn with worry. He typed back quickly. Okay, Mom, love you too. Please be careful. Malik tried to follow his mom's advice and go to bed, but sleep eluded him. He tossed and turned, his sheets tangling around his legs as his mind raced with worst-case scenarios. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Lisa's exhausted face from that morning, the way she had stumbled in the kitchen. The digital clock on his nightstand seemed to mock him, its red numbers slowly ticking away the hours as the night wore on. By 3 a.m., Malik had made up his mind. If Lisa wasn't home by morning, he would go to the police station. They would know what to do, how to find her. It wasn't much of a plan, but it was something, and having even a small course of action helped calm his frayed nerves a little. Still, sleep remained elusive. Malik lay in bed, eyes wide open, listening for the sound of Lisa's car in the driveway, the jingle of her keys in the lock. But the house remained silent, and the night stretched on endlessly. As the first rays of sunlight crept through Malik's window, he heard the faint creak of the front door. His eyes snapped open, heart leaping with relief. Lisa was finally home. Malik lay still for a moment, expecting to hear her footsteps on the stairs. But the house remained eerily quiet. Frowning, he pushed back his covers and swung his legs out of bed. "Mom," he called out, padding into the hallway. No answer came. A chill ran down Malik's spine as he made his way towards the kitchen, the silence feeling heavy and oppressive. "Mom," he called again, his voice shaking slightly. "Are you okay?" As Malik rounded the corner into the kitchen, his world came to a screeching halt. There, sprawled on the cold tile floor, lay Lisa. She wasn't moving. For a split second, Malik froze, his mind unable to process what he was seeing. Then, as if a switch had been flipped, he sprang into action, without even pausing to put on shoes. He bolted out of the house. The cool morning air bit at his skin as Malik sprinted down the quiet streets, his bare feet slapping against the pavement. But he barely noticed the discomfort. His entire being was focused on one thing: getting help for his mom. As Malik raced down the familiar streets of Maplewood, his heart pounded in his chest like a drum, urging him forward. The early morning light bathed everything in a golden hue, but all he could see was the horrifying image of his mother lying motionless on the kitchen floor. Panic surged through him, propelling him to move faster, his bare feet pounding against the cool pavement, oblivious to the sharpness of the ground beneath him. Every second felt like an eternity. What if he was too late? What if he lost her? The thought gripped him with terror, fueling his desperate sprint towards the police station. It was the only place he could think of that could help him now. As he approached the police station, Malik's breath came in ragged gasps. He burst through the doors, startling the officers inside. Their faces shifted from confusion to concern as they saw the frantic boy. his wide eyes filled with fear and desperation. "Please, you have to help my mom," Malik shouted, his voice cracking under the weight of his panic. One of the officers, a tall man with kind eyes, knelt down to Malik's level. "Slow down, buddy. Take a deep breath and tell us what's going on." Malik gulped in air, trying to steady himself. "My mom, she's on the floor. She's not moving. Please, you have to come with me." The officers exchanged quick glances, recognizing the urgency of the situation. The same officer who had knelt down squeezed Malik's shoulder reassuringly. "We're not going to arrest your mom. Son, we're here to help. Can you show us where she is?" Malik nodded vigorously, relief washing over him as he felt their support. "Yes, it's just a few blocks away. Hurry." Without hesitation, the officers grabbed their gear and followed Malik as he dashed out of the station. They raced through the quiet streets, Malik leading the way, his heart pounding in sync with the sound of their footsteps behind him. The world around him blurred. All that mattered was getting help for Lisa. As they turned onto Malik Street, he pointed toward his home, his voice rising with urgency. "It's right there. She's in there." The officers quickened their pace, training kicking in as they approached the open front door. Malik's heart raced with hope and fear, and he dashed ahead, but one of the officers gently held him back. "Stay behind us, Malik," the officer instructed firmly but kindly. Malik nodded, heart in his throat, as the officers moved cautiously into his home. "Mom," he called out, desperate for a response, his voice trembling with both fear and hope. The officers stepped carefully, scanning the dimly lit entryway. Malik's eyes darted around the room, searching for any sign of his mother. The air was thick with anxiety as they approached the kitchen, the sight before them causing a chill to run down their spines. "Police," one of the officers called out, keeping his voice calm as they entered the kitchen. There, sprawled on the cold tile floor, lay Lisa. The color had drained from her face, leaving her skin an ashen hue. Malik felt his heart drop as he rushed forward, pushing past the officers, his hands shaking as he reached out to touch her arm. "Mom, can you hear me?" he cried, panic flooding his voice. "Please wake up." One of the officers quickly knelt beside her, checking her pulse. "It's weak, but it's there," he reported, his voice tense with concern. "We need to get her to a hospital fast." Tears streamed down Malik's cheeks as he clutched his mother's hand, willing her to respond. "Mom, please," he begged, his voice breaking. "I need you to wake up." The officers exchanged worried glances over Malik's head, understanding the urgency of the situation. They began to assess Lisa, their training kicking in. Officer Mike radioed for an ambulance, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Dispatch, this is Officer Mike. We need an ambulance at 1542 Maple Street immediately. We have an unconscious woman, possible collapse due to extreme exhaustion." As they worked to stabilize Lisa, Malik hovered nearby, unable to tear his eyes away from her pale face. He squeezed her hand gently, wishing desperately that his touch could bring her back to him. "Help is on the way, Malik," Officer John said softly, placing a comforting hand on the boy's shoulder. "You did the right thing by coming to us." Malik looked up at Officer John, fear and hope swirling in his young eyes. "Is she going to be okay?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "We're doing everything we can." Officer John reassured him. "The paramedics will be here soon." The minutes seemed to stretch on endlessly as they waited for help to arrive. Malik couldn't help but feel a sense of helplessness wash over him. He sat beside his mother, tears flowing freely as he pleaded with her to wake up. "Mom, please," he whispered. "I need you. You can't leave me." Finally, the sound of sirens pierced the quiet morning, growing louder as the ambulance approached. Malik's heart raced with anticipation and anxiety. The paramedics rushed through the front door, their movements swift and purposeful. As they began assessing Lisa, Malik stood frozen, watching them work with a mixture of fear and hope. He heard snippets of medical jargon that he didn't understand, but the urgency in their voices made it clear that time was of the essence. "Get the oxygen mask," one paramedic instructed, and another quickly checked Lisa's vital signs. BP is dangerously low. We need to stabilize her for transport. Malik felt Officer Mike's hand on his shoulder again, guiding him to step back to give the paramedic space. They're doing everything they can for your mom. Malik, he said softly. Jamal nodded, though his heart was heavy. He didn't want to leave Lisa's side, but he also understood that she needed help. As the paramedics worked, they carefully attached monitors and inserted in four. Their movements quick and practiced. After what felt like an eternity, they were ready to move her. Let's get her on the stretcher, one of the paramedics said, and with careful precision, they lifted Lisa onto the stretcher, securing her for the journey to the hospital. Malik's heart raced as he climbed into the back of the ambulance, his legs shaky from the adrenaline coursing through him. He sat next to his mother, holding her hand tightly as the paramedic adjusted the monitors. We're going to take good care of her, the paramedic assured him, giving him a reassuring smile. The siren blared as the ambulance sped through the streets, and Malik's mind raced, trying to comprehend everything that had just happened. As they arrived at the hospital, the automatic doors slid open, and the paramedics rushed Angela's stretcher through the bustling emergency room. Malik trailed behind, his bare feet slapping against the cold floor. The bright fluorescent lights made him squint, and the noise of the hospital buzzed around him. 12-year-old male accompanying. One of the paramedics called out as they wheeled Lisa into the treatment area. Mother, mid-30s, severe exhaustion and possible malnutrition. A team of doctors and nurses swarmed around Lisa, their voices overlapping as they fired questions at each other. Malik stood on the sidelines, feeling lost amid the chaos. A kind-faced nurse gently steered him away. You need to wait out here. Sweetie, she said softly. We'll take good care of your mom. I promise. Malik sank into an uncomfortable plastic chair, his legs feeling like jelly as he tried to process everything. The events of the morning played on a loop in his mind. Finding Lisa on the floor, running to the police station, the frantic ride in the ambulance. It all felt like a bad dream from which he couldn't wake. Minutes ticked by, feeling like hours as he glanced between the clock on the wall and the double doors leading to the treatment area. Every time they swung open, his heart leaped with hope, but each time it was for someone else. He hugged his knees to his chest, trying to make himself smaller in the vast waiting room. Guilt gnawed at his insides. Why hadn't he noticed sooner how bad things had gotten? Why hadn't he done something to help? After what felt like an eternity, the doors swung open again. This time, a nurse in blue scrubs walked straight toward Malik, her face kind but serious. Are you Lisa's son? She asked gently. Malik nodded, his throat too tight to speak. The nurse sat down next to him, her voice soft but clear. Your mom is suffering from extreme exhaustion and malnutrition, she explained. She's been working too hard and not taking care of her own needs. Tears filled Malik's eyes. He should have known. He should have done something sooner. Minutes later, two uniformed officers stepped into the bustling emergency room, their eyes scanning the waiting area until they spotted Malik hunched over in a chair. Officers Mike and John approached him quietly, their expressions softening as they drew near. Hey there, Malik, Officer Mike said gently, crouching down to meet the boy's eyes. How are you holding up? Malik looked up, his eyes red-rimmed and weary. He shrugged, unable to find the words to express the turmoil inside him. Officer John pulled up a chair next to Malik while Officer Mike sat on his other side, creating a protective circle around him. We wanted to check on you and your mom, Officer John explained, her voice warm and comforting. Have the doctors told you anything yet? Malik nodded slowly. They said she's really tired and hasn't been eating right, he mumbled, his voice barely above a whisper. Officer Mike placed a reassuring hand on Malik's shoulder. Malik, we need you to understand something important, he said gently but firmly. What happened to your mom? It's not your fault. Malik's head snapped up, his eyes wide with surprise and disbelief. Officer John leaned in, her voice filled with compassion. Your mom loves you very much. Sometimes when people love someone, they push themselves too hard trying to take care of them. That's what your mom did. But I should have noticed. I should have done something sooner. Malik cried, the weight of guilt crashing down on him. Officer Mike shook his head. You're just a kid. Malik, it's not your job to take care of your mom. You did the right thing by getting help when you realized something was wrong. As the officers continued to offer words of comfort and support, Malik listened intently. He wanted to believe them, to let go of the guilt that had been eating away at him. But the weight of responsibility still pressed heavily on his young shoulders. As the sun began to peek through the hospital windows, a nurse approached Malik with a gentle smile. Your mother's been moved to a room now. You can go see her if you'd like, she said, her voice warm and comforting. Malik's heart raced as he followed the nurse down the corridor. He had been waiting for this moment all night, but now that it was here, he felt a mix of relief and fear. What would he see when he walked into that room? The nurse paused at a door, gesturing for Malik to enter. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside. The room was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Lisa lay in the hospital bed, her eyes closed and her face pale. She looked so small and fragile, nothing like the strong, tireless mother Malik was used to seeing. Malik's breath caught in his throat at the sight. He stood frozen for a moment, overwhelmed by the reality of his mom's condition. Slowly, he made his way to the side of the bed, resting his hand on top of hers. Her skin felt cool against his palm, and he gave her hand a gentle squeeze. Mom, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. I'm here. Lisa's eyes fluttered open, and a weak smile spread across her face when she saw Malik. Hey, baby, she murmured, her voice hoarse. Tears welled up in Malik's eyes as he blinked them back, determined to be strong for his mom. How are you feeling? He asked, his voice trembling. I'm okay, Lisa replied, but Malik could see the exhaustion in her eyes. Mom, I promise I'm going to help you get better, he said, his voice filled with determination. I'm going to make sure you never have to work so hard again. We'll figure it out together. Okay. Lisa's eyes glistened with tears. Oh, Malik, she whispered, you're such a good boy, but you don't have to worry about me. That's not your job. As Malik sat in the uncomfortable hospital chair, watching his mother, he felt a profound shift within himself. The events of the past few days had been overwhelming. But now, sitting beside Lisa, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He would do everything in his power to ensure his mom would take care of herself, to ease the burden she carried on her shoulders. In that moment, with the rhythmic beeping of the machines filling the room, Malik made a silent promise to himself. He would always look out for Lisa, just as she had always looked out for him. The weeks flew by in a whirlwind of activity, each day marked by small yet significant changes in Malik and Lisa's lives. Malik had become a beacon of resilience, embracing the responsibility of helping his mother while navigating his own teenage challenges. With Lisa's health steadily improving, Malik felt a renewed sense of hope and determination to make a positive impact in their community. As the date for the wellness workshop approached, Malik found himself immersed in preparation. With Ms. Thompson's guidance, he created flyers to promote the event, carefully crafting messages that emphasized the importance of self-care for parents. He wanted the workshop to be a space where families could share their struggles, learn from each other, and support one another in a world that often felt overwhelming. Mom, what do you think about the title Finding Balance, a wellness workshop for parents? Malik asked one evening as they sat at the kitchen table, surrounded by paperwork and colorful markers. I love it, Lisa replied, her eyes lighting up. It perfectly captures what you want to achieve. This is going to be great. Malik beamed at her praise. I hope so. I really want to help others understand that it's okay to take a step back and focus on themselves sometimes. As they brainstormed ideas for activities and topics to cover, Malik couldn't shake the feeling of excitement bubbling within him. He envisioned parents sharing their experiences, experts offering valuable insights, and a community coming together to lift each other up. On the day of the workshop, Malik woke up early, his heart racing with anticipation. The sun streamed through the windows, casting a warm glow throughout their home, reflecting the energy he felt inside. After a quick breakfast, he helped Lisa get ready for the day. She wore a bright smile, her confidence evident as she donned a comfortable outfit that suited the occasion. "You're going to do wonderfully, Malik," Lisa said, smoothing down her blouse. "I'm so proud of you for taking this initiative." "Thanks, Mom. I just hope people show up," he admitted, a hint of nervousness creeping into his voice. "They will," she assured him. "You've put so much effort into this, and your heart is in the right place. Trust in that." As they arrived at the community center, Malik took a deep breath, trying to calm the butterflies swirling in his stomach. The room was bright and welcoming, adorned with colorful decorations and tables set up for various activities. He could see parents and children mingling, a gentle hum of conversation filling the space. "Malik," Miss Thompson called out, waving him over. "We have a great turnout. More people than I expected." Malik's heart swelled with hope as he looked around, noticing familiar faces from school as well as new ones. He felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. But it was a weight he welcomed. This was his chance to make a difference. The workshop began with Malik introducing himself and sharing his story. Standing at the front of the room, he could feel the supportive energy emanating from the audience. As he spoke about his experiences with Lisa and the struggles they faced, he could see nods of understanding and empathy in the faces of those listening. "Thank you all for being here today," Malik began, his voice steadying with each word. "I started this workshop because I want us to talk about the importance of self-care and finding balance in our lives. I know how hard it can be to juggle work and family, but I also know that taking care of ourselves is crucial for our well-being." As Malik continued, he noticed a woman in the front row wiping away tears. It struck him how powerful sharing experiences could be. It created a bond, a sense of belonging. After his introduction, Malik invited Ms. Thompson to speak about the importance of mental health and ways to manage stress. She engaged the audience with practical tips and techniques, encouraging open dialogue. The room buzzed with discussion, parents exchanging ideas and strategies for managing their workloads while prioritizing their health and happiness. As the workshop progressed, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. This was what he had hoped for, a space where families could feel supported and understood. He watched as parents connected with one another, sharing their stories and offering encouragement. After the informational segments, Malik organized activities aimed at fostering connection and self-care. They created self-care kits with simple items like stress balls, journals, and relaxation teas. Malik explained the importance of taking moments for themselves, encouraging everyone to embrace the little things that brought them joy. "Let's take a moment to breathe," Malik said, leading the group in a short breathing exercise. "Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. It's important to pause and take care of ourselves." As the workshop came to a close, Malik felt a surge of gratitude. The community had embraced the initiative, and he could see how much it meant to everyone in the room. Afterward, parents approached him to express their appreciation. "Thank you, Malik," one father said, his eyes glistening with emotion. "I didn't realize how much I needed this until today." It's easy to forget about ourselves when we're busy taking care of others. Malik smiled, feeling the warmth of their words envelop him. "I'm glad you found it helpful. We're all in this together, and it's okay to ask for help." As they packed up the materials and cleaned the room, Malik felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He had taken a small idea and turned it into something meaningful, a platform for change, a community of support. That evening, as they returned home, Malik couldn't contain his excitement. "Mom, the workshop was a success. So many people showed up, and they all seemed really engaged." "I knew you could do it, Malik," Lisa said, her pride evident. "You've created something beautiful here. You're making a real difference." As they settled down for dinner, Malik shared stories from the workshop, his enthusiasm spilling over. "I think we should do this more often. Maybe make it a monthly event, or even expand it to include workshops for kids too." Lisa nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "That's a fantastic idea. You could even invite guest speakers to share their knowledge on different topics." Over the following weeks, Malik and Lisa worked tirelessly to build on the success of the workshop. They reached out to local businesses and community organizations, seeking partnerships to bring in experts who could provide valuable insights on various aspects of wellness. Malik felt invigorated by the possibilities, driven by a desire to create a lasting impact. Meanwhile, Lisa continued to focus on her recovery. The combination of community support and Malik's unwavering determination helped her regain her strength. She learned to prioritize self-care, taking breaks during her shifts and allowing herself the time she needed to recharge. Malik marveled at the transformation in their home. Gone were the days of silence and worry. Instead, their conversations filled the air with laughter and plans for the future. Lisa began to share her own ideas for community wellness initiatives, inspired by Malik's passion and the connections they had fostered. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Malik turned to his mother. "I feel like we're really building something special here. Mom, it's not just about us anymore. It's about helping others too." Lisa smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "You're right, Malik. We found a purpose, and I couldn't be prouder of you." It's amazing how one small act of kindness can ripple out and create such a positive change. Their journey was just beginning, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they had transformed their struggles into a force for good, creating a community that valued health, happiness, and support. As the stars began to twinkle overhead, Malik and Lisa sat side by side, knowing that they were not alone. They had each other, and together they would continue to uplift those around them, fostering a spirit of kindness and connection that would resonate throughout Maplewood for years to come. Little did they know, the impact of their efforts would extend far beyond their own experiences, sparking a movement that would inspire others to prioritize self-care and well-being. And as they held on to their dreams, they understood that this was just the beginning of a brighter future, filled with hope and possibility. The days turned into a blur as Malik navigated the complex emotions that came with seeing his mother in the hospital. Each day brought new challenges, but also small victories. After several days of treatment, Lisa began to regain her strength. The doctors had assured Malik that her condition was improving, but the sight of her frail figure lying in the hospital bed weighed heavily on his heart. Every afternoon after school, Malik would rush to the hospital, his backpack filled with drawings, stories, and small gifts for his mother. He wanted to lift her spirits, to remind her of the love that surrounded her. Each visit became a precious ritual, a beacon of hope in a time that felt so dark. On one of these visits, Malik arrived with a hand-drawn card covered in colorful hearts and an earnest message. "Get well soon. Mom, I love you more than you know." He entered the room with the card clutched tightly in his hand, excitement bubbling in his chest. "Hey, baby," Lisa said, her voice still hoarse but more animated than it had been. "What have you got there?" Malik grinned, his heart swelling with love as he handed her the card. "I made this for you," he said, watching her face light up as she read the words. "Oh, Malik," she said, her eyes shimmering with tears. "This is beautiful. Thank you." Malik settled into the chair beside her bed, eager to share everything that had been happening at home and at school. "My classmates are really worried about you too. We talked about how hard you work, and they all want to help." "That's so thoughtful of them," Lisa replied, touched by the kindness of Malik's friends. "It means so much to me to know that you're all looking out for each other." As Malik talked about school projects and friends, he noticed the way Lisa's smile began to reach her eyes again. For the first time in days, he felt a flicker of hope. Maybe everything would be okay after all. But as Lisa's health improved, Malik couldn't shake the lingering worry that still gnawed at him. Each time he returned to their home, he felt the silence echo around him like an unwanted guest. The house felt so empty without Lisa bustling about, filling the space with her warmth and energy. Malik often found himself lost in thought, haunted by the image of her collapse. The sound of the clock ticking on the wall seemed to amplify his fears. Would she push herself too hard again once she returned home? Would she forget to take breaks, to eat properly, to rest? One evening, while Malik was finishing up his homework, he couldn't focus. His thoughts drifted to Lisa, and he realized he had to do something to ensure she wouldn't slip back into old habits. The next day at school, he approached his best friend, Jason. During lunch, "I've been thinking about starting a support group for kids whose parents work too hard," Malik admitted, his voice laced with determination. "I want to make sure we can all look out for our families." Jason raised his eyebrows, impressed. "That sounds like a great idea. Malik, you could share your experiences and encourage others to speak up if they're worried about their parents." With Jason's encouragement, Malik approached his school counselor, Ms. Thompson. The following week, "I want to start a support group for kids whose parents work too hard," he explained, his voice steady but filled with hope. "I think it could really help us?" Ms. Thompson listened attentively, nodding as Malik shared his vision. "That's a wonderful initiative, Malik. I believe there are many students who would benefit from a space where they can share their experiences and support each other." Together, they began to organize the first meeting, creating flyers and spreading the word throughout the school. Malik's heart raced with excitement and nerves as the date approached. What if no one showed up? What if he made a fool of himself? When the day finally arrived, Malik stood outside the designated classroom, anxiety swirling in his stomach. He took a deep breath, reminding himself of why he was doing this. He wanted to create a space where kids could feel safe expressing their worries, just as he had wished for when he felt overwhelmed by his mother's struggles. As the clock ticked closer to the start time, Malik watched as students trickled in. He recognized some faces from his classes: Sarah, whose single father worked 2 jobs, Miguel, whose parents owned a small business, and a few others he had seen around school. "Hi, everyone," Malik began, his voice a bit shaky as he stood in front of the group. "I'm Malik. I started this group because my mom works really hard, sometimes too hard. I thought maybe we could share our experiences and come up with ways to help our families." To his surprise, the room filled with nods of understanding. One by one, students began to share their stories, each one resonating with Malik. "I worry about my dad," Sarah admitted, her voice soft. "He works night shifts, and I'm scared he's not getting enough sleep." Miguel chimed in, "My parents are always stressed about money. Sometimes I wish I could help them more, but I'm just a kid." Malik listened intently as they shared their fears, realizing that he was not alone in this struggle. He suggested they brainstorm ideas to help their parents prioritize self-care. They came up with a list of simple gestures, encouraging their parents to take breaks, offering to help with chores, and reminding them to eat healthy meals. As the meeting came to an end, Malik felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had created a space where kids could feel heard and supported, and he felt a sense of accomplishment. That evening, Malik excitedly shared the news with Lisa during his visit to the hospital. "Mom, I started a support group at school for kids whose parents work too hard. We talked about our experiences, and it felt really good to share." Lisa beamed with pride, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "I'm so proud of you, Malik. You've turned your worries into something positive, and that's not easy to do." With each passing day, as Lisa's health continued to improve, Malik's confidence grew. They began to discuss their plans for the future, for how they would change their routines when she returned home. Malik wanted to ensure they both took care of themselves, and together they brainstormed ideas for incorporating healthy habits into their lives. After several days in the hospital, Lisa was finally discharged. As they drove home, Malik glanced at her, a sense of relief washing over him. The lightness in the air felt tangible, as if the world was slowly regaining its color after a long period of gray. "Welcome home, Mom," Malik said softly as they stepped inside the house. The familiar scent of their home enveloped them, and for the first time in weeks, Malik felt a sense of peace. "Thanks, baby," Lisa replied, her voice warm. "It feels so good to be back." Together, they settled into a new routine. Malik took on more chores around the house, helping with meals and tidying up, while Lisa promised to take breaks during her shifts. They made it a priority to spend time together, whether cooking dinner or enjoying quiet moments on the porch, watching the sunset. As the days passed, Malik noticed a change in his mother. She seemed more vibrant, more engaged with life. The support of the community and the promise they had made to each other became the foundation of their healing. But Malik's journey didn't stop there. Inspired by the support group he had started, he began to think about ways he could give back to the community that had embraced them during their time of need. He wanted to ensure that no one else felt as alone as he had when Lisa collapsed. With determination in his heart, Malik approached Ms. Thompson once again, this time with a new idea. "I want to start a wellness workshop at school for parents to help them learn about self-care and balancing work and family," he explained. Ms. Thompson's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. "That's an excellent idea, Malik. I would be happy to help you organize it." As they began planning, Malik felt a sense of purpose fill him. He wanted to make a difference, not just for himself and his mother, but for every family in Maplewood struggling under the weight of exhaustion and stress. With each step forward, Malik felt empowered. The experience had taught him the importance of community, support, and self-care. He was determined to share these lessons with others, ensuring that every child and parent felt seen, heard, and supported in their journey. And so, with each passing day, as they rebuilt their lives together, Malik and Lisa discovered that healing was not just about recovering from hardship. It was about growing stronger together, embracing the love and support of those around them, and forging a path toward a brighter future. As summer rolled into Maplewood, Malik and Lisa found themselves busier than ever. The success of their initial wellness workshop ignited a spark in the community, leading to a series of events focused on health, well-being, and connection. The duo quickly realized that their small initiative had the potential to blossom into something much greater. Malik took the lead in planning the next workshop, excited to incorporate feedback from the previous event. He reached out to various local health professionals and educators, eager to bring a diverse range of topics to the table. With Lisa's encouragement and support, he organized sessions on stress management, nutrition, and even mindfulness practices. "Mom, I think we should have a session just for the kids too," Malik suggested one evening as they reviewed the plans. "We could teach them ways to cope with stress and how to communicate better with their parents." "That's a brilliant idea, Malik," Lisa replied, beaming with pride. Kids need tools to express their feelings just as much as adults do. It's essential for their emotional development. With renewed determination, Malik set to work creating a fun, engaging curriculum for the children. He decided to include activities like art therapy, where kids could express their feelings through drawing, and group discussions where they could share their experiences in a safe environment. As the date of the next workshop approached, excitement filled the air. The community center buzzed with anticipation, parents and children alike eager to learn and share. Malik and Lisa arrived early to set up, arranging chairs, hanging colorful banners, and preparing materials for the activities. "Look at this turnout," Malik exclaimed, eyes wide with astonishment as families began to filter in. "I can't believe so many people came." Lisa smiled, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. "You've created something meaningful, Malik. People want to be a part of it because they see the value in what you're doing." The workshop kicked off with Malik welcoming everyone, his voice steady and confident. He shared a brief overview of the day's events, emphasizing the importance of self-care and communication. "Today isn't just about learning. It's about sharing our stories and supporting each other," he said, his heart racing with excitement. "We're all in this together." The first session focused on stress management. A local therapist, Dr. Collins, led the discussion, providing valuable insights and practical strategies. She spoke about the signs of stress, emphasizing the importance of recognizing when it becomes overwhelming. Malik watched as parents nodded in understanding, their faces reflecting the reality of their struggles. "It's easy to ignore our own needs when we're so focused on our families," one mother admitted. "But I realize now that I can't be there for them if I'm running on empty." Malik felt a surge of pride as he saw the impact of their efforts. The workshop wasn't just a platform for information, it was a catalyst for change, inspiring parents to prioritize their well-being. Next, it was time for the children's session. Malik led a group of eager kids into a separate room, filled with art supplies and colorful posters. Their excitement was palpable, and he could feel the energy in the air. "Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here today." Malik greeted the group. "We're going to do some fun activities to help us talk about our feelings and learn how to cope with stress." The kids' faces lit up with enthusiasm. They dove into the art therapy activity, using crayons and markers to draw what made them happy and what stressed them out. Malik moved around the room, encouraging each child and asking them about their creations. "This is great. Ava, I love how colorful your drawing is. What does it represent?" he asked a little girl, who beamed with pride. "It's my family," she exclaimed. "We go to the park together, and that makes me happy." As the session continued, Malik facilitated discussions, allowing the children to express themselves. They shared their worries about school, friendships, and their parents' work schedules. Malik listened attentively, validating their feelings and reassuring them that it was okay to share their concerns. One boy named Ethan spoke up. "Sometimes I worry about my dad when he's at work. I just want him to come home safe." Malik nodded, recognizing the weight of that sentiment. "That's a really valid worry, Ethan. It's important to talk about those feelings with someone you trust, like your parents or a teacher." As the workshop came to a close, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. He had created a safe space where children could express themselves and learn valuable tools for navigating their emotions. After the event, parents approached him, gratitude shining in their eyes. "Thank you for doing this, Malik. My son has never opened up like this before," one father said, his voice filled with appreciation. "It means a lot to us, Malik," another mother added. "We can see how passionate you are about helping our families." As they cleaned up the space, Malik felt a sense of camaraderie with his community. They were all in this together, sharing the burden of stress and the importance of looking after one another. In the weeks that followed, the wellness workshops became a regular occurrence, each one building on the success of the last. Malik continued to lead the children's sessions, incorporating new activities and inviting guest speakers who could share their expertise. He created a safe haven for kids to learn, grow, and support each other. Meanwhile, Lisa took an active role in the workshops for parents, sharing her journey of recovery and the lessons she had learned about self-care. Her vulnerability resonated with many, creating an atmosphere of honesty and support. One evening, as Malik and Lisa sat together on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, Malik spoke up. "Mom, I've been thinking we should organize a community event, maybe a health fair. We could invite local businesses and health organizations to set up booths and provide resources for families." Lisa turned to him, her eyes shining with pride. "That's an incredible idea. A health fair could bring our community even closer together and provide valuable information and services." Together, they set to work planning the event. They reached out to local businesses, health professionals, and community leaders, gathering support and resources. Malik felt a surge of excitement as they mapped out their ideas, envisioning a day filled with activities, workshops, and opportunities for families to connect. The day of the health fair arrived, and Malik was filled with anticipation. The community center was transformed into a vibrant hub of activity, with booths showcasing everything from healthy cooking demonstrations to stress relief techniques. Families filled the space, their laughter and chatter creating a lively atmosphere. As Malik moved through the crowd, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride at what they had accomplished. This was more than just an event. It was a celebration of community, resilience, and the importance of taking care of one another. He spotted Lisa at one of the booths, demonstrating easy, nutritious recipes for families. Her smile was infectious, and Malik felt a warmth spread through him. She had come so far, and their shared journey had not only strengthened their bond, but also impacted those around them. "Hey, Mom, you're doing amazing," Malik called out as he approached. "Thanks, sweetie. I couldn't have done this without your support," Lisa replied, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Look at all the families here." Throughout the day, parents and children engaged in various activities, participating in workshops and learning from experts. The sense of community was palpable, with families bonding over shared experiences and knowledge. As the fair came to a close, Malik stood before the crowd, ready to thank everyone for their participation. Thank you all for coming today. I hope you found something valuable and that you'll continue to prioritize your health and well-being. The crowd erupted in applause, and Malik's heart swelled with pride. They had created something beautiful, a space where people could come together, support one another, and learn the importance of taking care of themselves. As families began to leave, Malik noticed a little girl tugging on her mother's sleeve, her eyes wide with excitement. Can we come back to the next event? Mom, I want to do the art activities again. Her mother smiled, ruffling her hair. Of course, sweetie. I think it's wonderful that Malik is doing this for us. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the community center, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. He knew this was just the beginning. Together, they would continue to build a community that valued connection, support, and well-being. That evening, as Malik and Lisa returned home, they reflected on the day's success. I never imagined we could have such an impact, Lisa said, her voice filled with emotion. You've inspired so many people. Malik, I couldn't have done it without you. Mom, Malik replied, his heart full. We've built something special together. As they settled down for dinner, Malik couldn't help but feel a sense of hope for the future. They had faced their struggles, but now they were stronger together, ready to continue their journey of healing and growth, not just for themselves, but for everyone in Maplewood. And as they shared laughter and stories over their meal, Malik realized that the love and support they had fostered in their community would create a ripple effect, inspiring others to prioritize their well-being and look out for one another. Together, they were building a brighter, healthier future for all, with the success of the health fair still fresh in their minds. Malik and Lisa set their sights on new initiatives. The community had come together in ways they had never imagined, and both mother and son felt a profound sense of responsibility to continue this momentum. They were not just advocates for their own well-being. They had become champions for their entire community. As summer faded into autumn, Malik proposed a series of seasonal events to maintain the connections they had forged. What if we organized a fall festival? He suggested one evening over dinner. We could incorporate wellness workshops, fun activities for the kids, and maybe even a potluck. Lisa's eyes sparkled at the idea. That sounds fantastic. A fall festival would bring everyone together. Plus, we could encourage families to share their favorite healthy recipes. Excitement bubbled between them as they began to brainstorm ideas for the festival. They envisioned booths with information on nutrition, cooking demonstrations, and outdoor activities that encourage families to enjoy the crisp autumn air. Over the next few weeks, they worked tirelessly, reaching out to local businesses for sponsorships, recruiting volunteers, and spreading the word through social media and flyers. Malik was amazed at the community's enthusiasm. People were eager to get involved, donate their time, and share their talents. As the festival date approached, the energy in Maplewood was palpable. The streets were adorned with colorful banners, pumpkins, and decorations. Families buzzed with anticipation, and Malik felt a sense of pride as he watched everything come together. On the day of the festival, Malik and Lisa arrived early to set up. The sun shone brightly, illuminating the vibrant colors of the decorations. Children laughed and played while parents set up their booths, sharing homemade treats and health information. Mom, look at this, Malik exclaimed, pointing to a booth where families were making apple cider. We should definitely try that. Lisa chuckled. Let's make sure we grab a cup later. This is going to be so much fun. As the festival kicked off, Malik took the stage to welcome everyone. Thank you all for coming. We're so excited to celebrate our community today. Remember, this festival is not just about having fun. It's about connecting with each other and learning how to take care of ourselves and our families. The crowd erupted in applause, and Malik felt a rush of gratitude. They were all part of something special, a growing movement to prioritize health and well-being. Throughout the day, families engaged in various activities, There were cooking demonstrations featuring nutritious seasonal dishes, fitness classes that encouraged everyone to get moving, and informational booths offering resources on mental health and stress management. Children participated in arts and crafts, creating decorations to take home. One of the most popular activities was a pumpkin carving contest, where families showcased their creativity and teamwork. Malik wandered around, admiring the various designs and laughing with kids as they proudly displayed their carved pumpkins. "Look at mine," a little boy exclaimed, holding up a pumpkin with a goofy face. "Isn't it funny?" Malik grinned. "That's awesome. I love it." As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden light over the festival, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. The sense of community was stronger than ever, and he knew that they were making a real difference in people's lives. Later that evening, as families gathered around the stage for the potluck dinner, Malik noticed a familiar face in the crowd. It was Ethan, the boy from the children's workshop. Malik waved him over. "Hey, Ethan, did you have fun today?" Malik asked. "Yeah, it was awesome," Ethan replied, his eyes shining with excitement. "I carved a pumpkin with my dad, and we made a salad for the potluck." "That sounds great. I can't wait to try it," Malik said, feeling a sense of camaraderie with the other kids. As the potluck commenced, the aroma of various dishes filled the air. Families shared their favorite recipes, and Malik was thrilled to see the diversity of flavors and traditions represented. It was a feast for the senses, showcasing the rich tapestry of their community. As Malik moved from table to table, tasting different dishes and chatting with families, he felt a deep sense of connection. These were not just neighbors. They were friends, allies in a shared mission to promote well-being and support one another. When it was time for the closing remarks, Malik took to the stage once more, his heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you all for coming today and making this festival such a success. Together, we've built a community that supports each other, and I can't wait to see what we accomplish next." Applause erupted from the crowd, and Malik felt a rush of warmth. They had created something beautiful together, and he knew that their efforts would have a lasting impact. As the festival wound down, families began to pack up and head home, their hearts full and spirits high. Malik and Lisa shared smiles of satisfaction as they surveyed the remnants of the day's activities. "We did it, Mom. We really brought the community together," Malik said, his voice filled with pride. Lisa nodded, her eyes sparkling. "You've done an amazing job, Malik. I'm so proud of you." This festival is just the beginning. In the following weeks, the excitement from the fall festival lingered in the air. Families continued to connect, sharing meals, attending workshops, and engaging in conversations about health and well-being. Malik and Lisa found themselves busier than ever, planning future events and initiatives. One day, while Malik was at school, he received a text from Ms. Thompson. "Malik, great news! The school board has approved funding for a series of wellness programs. I'd love for you to be involved in the planning process." Malik could hardly contain his excitement. "That's amazing," he replied, his fingers flying over the keyboard. "I'm in." The opportunity to expand their efforts and bring even more resources to the community filled Malik with enthusiasm. He envisioned workshops that could reach a wider audience, including educational sessions for teens on mental health and resilience. As they began to develop the new programs, Malik felt a surge of purpose. He wanted to make a difference not just for his community, but for himself as well. He knew that taking care of his own mental health was just as important as helping others. During this time, Malik also began to explore mindfulness practices. Inspired by the wellness sessions, he sought out ways to incorporate mindfulness into his daily routine. He found solace in meditation and journaling, which helped him process his thoughts and emotions. One afternoon, as Malik sat at his desk, he wrote down his feelings in a journal. He reflected on the journey he and Lisa had taken, the struggles they had overcome, and the strength they had found in each other. Writing became a therapeutic outlet for him, allowing him to express his worries and aspirations. As the school year progressed, the wellness programs gained momentum. Malik collaborated with Ms. Thompson and other teachers to create a comprehensive curriculum that addressed the needs of students and families alike. They organized workshops, family nights, and support groups, fostering a culture of openness and understanding. Lisa was thrilled to see Malik's passion for helping others continue to grow. She often attended the workshops, sharing her own experiences and connecting with other parents. The sense of community deepened, and Lisa felt grateful for the support network that had formed around them. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, Malik turned to Lisa, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Mom, do you think we could start a scholarship program for students interested in health and wellness careers? I want to help others like us who have faced challenges." Lisa's eyes filled with tears as she embraced her son. "That's a wonderful idea. Malik, you're thinking about the future, and it's so inspiring to see you want to make a difference for others." Motivated by their shared vision, they began to research how to create the scholarship program. They reached out to local businesses and community leaders for support, determined to make their dream a reality. As the months rolled on, the community became increasingly engaged in the wellness initiatives Malik and Lisa had started. The programs provided families with tools to prioritize their health, but they also fostered a sense of belonging and connection. Malik reflected on how far they had come. What began as a personal journey of healing had transformed into a collective movement, one that resonated deeply within Maplewood. One day, as Malik walked through the community center, he noticed a group of students gathered in a circle, discussing their thoughts and feelings. It filled him with joy to see his vision come to life. Young people supporting one another, sharing their experiences, and building resilience together. "Hey, Malik," one of the students called out, waving him over. "Can you join our circle? We're talking about how to handle stress during exams." "Of course," Malik replied, feeling a rush of warmth at their invitation. As he sat down with them, he realized that this was exactly what he had hoped for, a community where everyone felt supported, heard, and understood. Together, they laughed, shared stories, and strategized ways to navigate the challenges ahead. In that moment, Malik felt a profound sense of purpose wash over him. He understood that they were not just helping one another. They were creating a legacy of support and care that would extend far beyond their immediate community. As the year drew to a close, Malik and Lisa reflected on their journey. They had faced struggles, but they had also experienced incredible growth and transformation. Their efforts had sparked a movement, one that would continue to thrive in Maplewood. With renewed determination, they planned for the future. The scholarship program was taking shape. The wellness workshops had gained popularity, and the sense of community was stronger than ever. As the last days of winter approached, Malik and Lisa sat together on the porch, watching the snowflakes drift down from the sky. They shared their hopes for the upcoming year, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge that lay ahead. "Here's to new beginnings," Malik said, raising an imaginary glass. Lisa laughed, her heart full. "Here's to the strength of our community and the love that surrounds us." With that, they embraced, ready to face whatever adventures awaited them in the year to come. Hand in hand, united in their mission to support each other and their community. The journey was far from over, but together they were ready to make a lasting impact on the lives of those around them. As the new year dawned in Maplewood, a sense of renewal filled the air. Malik and Lisa felt invigorated, ready to embrace new challenges and opportunities. The community they had worked so hard to nurture was thriving, and the initiatives they had started continued to blossom. In the quiet moments of early January, Malik sat down to reflect on their journey. The success of the health fair and wellness workshops had laid a solid foundation, and he was eager to build on that momentum. With the scholarship program taking shape, he began to think of ways to raise awareness and funds to support aspiring health and wellness professionals in the community. "Mom, what do you think about organizing a charity run?" Malik suggested one afternoon as they prepared lunch together. "We could get the community involved, raise some money, and promote health at the same time." Lisa paused, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. "That's a fantastic idea. Malik, a charity run would not only raise funds for the scholarship program, but also encourage families to engage in physical activity together. It could be a fun way to promote health and wellness. With their plans set in motion, Malik wasted no time. He contacted local running clubs, reached out to businesses for sponsorships, and began spreading the word through social media and flyers. The excitement was contagious, and as the date approached, families began to sign up, eager to support the cause. As they prepared for the charity run, Malik and Lisa organized training sessions for those who wanted to participate. Every Saturday morning, they held group runs at the local park, welcoming participants of all ages and fitness levels. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and camaraderie as families encouraged each other to stay active. Malik found joy in leading these sessions. He shared tips on running techniques and motivated others to push themselves beyond their perceived limits. Each week, the group grew, and he could see how the shared goal of preparing for the charity run brought people together. The day of the charity run arrived, and the park buzzed with energy. Banners decorated the pathway, and tables were set up with refreshments and information about the scholarship program. Families gathered, children laughing as they warmed up, their excitement palpable. "Mom, look at all these people," Malik exclaimed, his heart swelling with pride. "I can't believe how many have come out to support us." Lisa stood beside him, a smile stretching across her face. "You've done an amazing job organizing this. Malik, you should be proud of what you've accomplished." As the participants lined up at the starting line, Malik felt a mixture of nerves and exhilaration. He grabbed the microphone and addressed the crowd. "Thank you all for being here today. This run is not just about fitness. It's about community and supporting each other. Let's have fun and show our commitment to health and wellness." The air filled with cheers and applause, and Malik's spirits soared. With a loud horn, the race began, and participants set off, their feet pounding the pavement in unison. Malik ran alongside them, encouraging everyone to keep going, feeling the energy of the crowd lift him. As they rounded the first lap, Malik noticed families cheering for one another, children running with their parents, and neighbors pushing each other to stay motivated. The sense of unity was palpable, and Malik couldn't help but smile. This was what he had hoped for, a community coming together to support each other and prioritize their health. After several laps, they crossed the finish line, and the park erupted in cheers. Malik felt a surge of emotion as families embraced, laughter filling the air. They had accomplished something meaningful together, and it felt like a victory for the entire community. As the event concluded, Malik took to the stage once more, this time to express his gratitude. "Thank you all for coming out today and making this charity run a success. Your support means so much. And together, we're making a difference for families in Maplewood." The crowd applauded, and Malik's heart swelled with pride. They had raised a significant amount for the scholarship program, but more importantly, they had strengthened the bonds within the community. In the weeks that followed, Malik and Lisa began the process of awarding the first scholarship. They reviewed applications from local high school seniors who expressed a passion for health and wellness. Each application reflected a unique story, and Malik was inspired by the resilience and determination of these young individuals. As they sat together reviewing the applications, Malik noticed a familiar name. "Mom, this is Ethan's application. He wants to study sports medicine." Lisa smiled, her eyes sparkling. "That's wonderful. I think he would be a fantastic candidate. He's shown such dedication in our workshops." Malik nodded, feeling a sense of pride in the community they had nurtured. "I can't believe how far we've come. Just a few months ago, we were worried about our own struggles, and now we're helping others pursue their dreams." After careful consideration, Malik and Lisa selected Ethan as the first recipient of the scholarship. When they informed him, his reaction was priceless, an exuberant mix of disbelief and joy. "I can't believe it. Thank you so much," Ethan exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. "This means the world to me. I want to help kids like us, who need support." Malik felt a warmth in his heart. This was exactly what he had envisioned, a ripple effect of support, encouragement, and empowerment within the community. As winter settled over Maplewood, Malik and Lisa continued their work, hosting monthly workshops and community events. They organized family game nights, cooking classes, and discussions on mental health, ensuring that the spirit of togetherness remained alive. One chilly evening, as they prepared for a family game night at the community center, Malik noticed a new family arriving. A mother with 3 young children entered, their faces illuminated with curiosity. "Welcome. We're glad you could make it." Malik greeted them warmly. "Thanks for having us. We just moved here and heard about the community events," the mother replied, her voice friendly. Malik felt a surge of excitement. "You'll love it here. We have all sorts of activities planned. It's a great way to meet people." As the evening unfolded, Malik watched as families mingled, laughter echoing through the halls. He felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him, knowing that they were creating an environment where everyone felt welcomed and supported. During a break in the activities, Malik found himself in a deep conversation with a group of kids. They shared stories about their favorite games and how they enjoyed participating in community events. It warmed Malik's heart to see the friendships blossoming among the children. "Can we have a sports day next time?" one boy suggested eagerly. "We could do relay races and games." "Yeah, that would be so much fun," another chimed in, their eyes sparkling with excitement. Malik's mind raced with ideas as they brainstormed. A sports day could promote teamwork, physical activity, and community spirit, all values he held dear. "Let's make it happen. I'll talk to my mom about organizing it." As the game night wrapped up, Malik felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that they had created a safe space for families to connect. Lisa joined him, her eyes shining with pride. "You did an incredible job tonight, Malik. It's beautiful to see everyone coming together," she said, wrapping her arm around his shoulders. "I couldn't have done it without your support." "Mom, this community is amazing," Malik replied, a smile spreading across his face. As they cleaned up the community center, Malik's mind buzzed with ideas for future events. The energy within the community was electric, and he wanted to harness that momentum to continue making a difference. In the following weeks, Malik and Lisa began to plan the sports day. They reached out to local businesses for sponsorships, organized teams, and even enlisted some high school students to help run the events. The anticipation grew as families signed up to participate. On the day of the sports day, the park was transformed into a vibrant hub of activity. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and the laughter of children filled the air. Malik felt a rush of excitement as he looked around, seeing families bonding over friendly competition. "Welcome to our sports day," Malik announced, his voice ringing out over the crowd. "We're here to have fun, support one another, and enjoy the beautiful day." As the events began, families cheered each other on, the spirit of camaraderie palpable. Malik watched as children laughed and ran, their joy infectious. The competition was friendly, and the emphasis was on participation and teamwork. The day unfolded beautifully, with various activities, relay races, tug-of-war, and even a 3-legged race that had everyone in stitches. Malik joined in the fun, running alongside the kids, encouraging them to do their best. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden light over the park, Malik gathered everyone for the closing ceremony. "Thank you all for coming out today. You've shown that together we can achieve anything. Let's keep this spirit alive in our community." Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Malik felt a surge of pride. They had created a day filled with laughter, connection, and support. After the event, Malik reflected on how far they had come, from his mother's struggles to their journey of healing and growth. They had turned adversity into an opportunity for empowerment and community building. As winter approached, Malik and Lisa continued to nurture the bonds they had formed. They planned for the future, envisioning more events and initiatives that would strengthen their community even further. With each passing day, Malik felt a profound sense of purpose. He was not just a kid trying to help his mom. He had become a leader, an advocate for health and wellness, and a source of inspiration for those around him. As the winter months settled over Maplewood, Malik and Lisa found themselves reflecting on the incredible journey they had embarked upon. The sports day had not only solidified their place in the community, but had also inspired a wave of enthusiasm for future initiatives. With each event, they had seen firsthand how important it was to foster connections and promote well-being, and they were determined to keep that momentum going. One chilly evening, as they sat by the fireplace, Malik turned to Lisa with a spark of inspiration in his eyes. "What if we organized a winter wellness retreat?" he proposed. "We could offer workshops, wellness activities, and even some fun winter sports like snowshoeing and sledding." Lisa's eyes lit up with excitement. "That sounds fantastic, Malik. A retreat would be a great way to bring families together during the winter months, and it would provide a space for relaxation and self-care. We could incorporate mindfulness sessions and healthy cooking demonstrations." As they discussed the details, Malik's excitement grew. They envisioned a weekend retreat where families could escape the hustle and bustle of daily life, focusing instead on self-care, connection, and rejuvenation. They would rent a local lodge, create a cozy atmosphere, and offer a variety of activities for everyone to enjoy. With their plan in place, Malik wasted no time reaching out to local businesses for sponsorships and securing the lodge for the weekend. He crafted a detailed itinerary, ensuring a balance of activities that promoted both physical and mental wellness. Lisa helped him contact local health professionals and instructors who could lead sessions on mindfulness, nutrition, and physical fitness. As the retreat date approached, word spread quickly through the community. Families signed up eagerly, excited about the opportunity to take part in something that promised to be both enjoyable and enriching. The anticipation was palpable, and Malik felt a surge of pride as the retreat took shape. When the day finally arrived, the lodge was filled with warmth and laughter. Families arrived, bringing with them a sense of excitement and camaraderie. The inviting scent of hot cocoa wafted through the air as Malik greeted everyone, feeling a sense of belonging wash over him. "Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Let's kick off this retreat with a fun icebreaker to get to know each other," Malik announced, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. The families gathered in the main lodge, mingling and sharing their stories. After the icebreaker, Malik and Lisa led a yoga session, allowing everyone to stretch and relax after their journey. The calming atmosphere, combined with the sound of soft music and the gentle crackle of the fireplace, set the tone for a weekend focused on well-being. As the first day of the retreat unfolded, participants engaged in a variety of activities. They learned about nutrition from a local dietitian, participated in guided meditation sessions, and enjoyed outdoor activities like snowshoeing and sledding. Malik loved seeing families bonding, their laughter echoing through the snow-covered landscape. One family, the Parkers, stood out to Malik. They were a family of 4 with 2 children, and it was evident they had faced their own struggles. During a group discussion, Mr. Parker shared how balancing work and family had taken a toll on their health. Malik admired their openness and vulnerability, recognizing that many families shared similar experiences. "Thank you for creating this space for us to connect and share," Mrs. Parker said, her voice filled with emotion. "We've been feeling overwhelmed, and it's refreshing to be among others who understand." Malik felt a warmth in his heart as he listened to their stories. The retreat was not just about wellness. It was about creating a supportive community where families could uplift each other. On the second day of the retreat, Lisa led a healthy cooking demonstration, showcasing simple and nutritious recipes that families could prepare together. The kitchen buzzed with excitement as families gathered around, eager to learn and sample the dishes. Malik noticed the enthusiasm in the room as participants chopped vegetables, stirred pots, and shared cooking tips. It was a beautiful sight, families engaging in meaningful conversations while preparing delicious meals together. "This is amazing, Mom!" Malik exclaimed, watching as the room filled with laughter and the delightful aroma of healthy food. "Everyone is really getting into it." Lisa smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "It's wonderful to see families connecting over food. This is what it's all about, creating a sense of community and togetherness. As the retreat continued, Malik felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Each day brought new connections, new insights, and a renewed commitment to wellness. He saw how the families were transforming, sharing their stories, and supporting one another in their journeys. On the final evening of the retreat, Malik and Lisa planned a cozy gathering by the fireplace. They set up blankets and cushions, creating an inviting atmosphere for storytelling and reflection. Families settled in, eager to share their experiences and the lessons they had learned. As Malik opened the floor for sharing, he felt a wave of emotion. Thank you all for being a part of this retreat. I'm so grateful to see how we've all come together to support one another. I'd love to hear what this experience has meant to you. One by one, families began to share their reflections. The Parkers spoke about how the retreat had rekindled their family bond, while another family shared how they had learned to prioritize self-care amidst their busy lives. This retreat has reminded us of the importance of taking breaks and finding joy in the little things. Mrs. Smith said, her eyes shining with gratitude. Thank you for creating this opportunity for us. As the stories flowed, Malik felt a deep connection with everyone in the room. They had created something special together, a space where love, support, and understanding thrived. As the night drew to a close, Malik felt overwhelmed with emotion. He realized that this retreat was not just a weekend getaway. It was a turning point for many families, including his own. They had come together to share their struggles, learn from one another, and foster a community centered around health and wellness. Let's continue this journey together, Malik suggested, his voice filled with hope. We've built something beautiful here, and I want us to keep supporting each other long after this retreat ends. As families nodded in agreement, Malik knew they were ready to embrace the future as a united community. The bonds they had formed during the retreat would carry on, inspiring others to prioritize their health and well-being. When the retreat came to an end, families exchanged hugs and contact information, eager to stay connected. Malik felt a sense of accomplishment as he watched the friendships blossom, knowing that they had created something lasting. As they packed up the lodge and said their goodbyes, Malik turned to Lisa, his heart full. We did it, Mom. This retreat was amazing. Lisa wrapped her arm around him, pride radiating from her. You've grown so much. Malik, I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished. You've inspired so many people. Driving home, Malik reflected on the past few months. From the wellness workshops to the charity run and the winter retreat, they had built a community that embraced the importance of health and connection. Mom, I want to keep pushing forward, Malik said, determination in his voice. Let's plan more events and reach even more families. There's so much more we can do. Lisa nodded, her heart swelling with pride. Absolutely. Malik, we'll keep this momentum going. Together, we can make an even bigger impact. As they arrived home, Malik felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey they had embarked upon was far from over, and he knew that the support they had cultivated would only continue to grow. Together, they would face any challenge that lay ahead, united in their mission to uplift their community and prioritize health and well-being. And as they settled into their evening routine, Malik couldn't help but smile at the thought of what the future held. They were a family on a mission, and with each passing day, they were making the world a little brighter, a little healthier, and a little more connected. As the winter months settled over Maplewood, Malik and Lisa found themselves reflecting on the incredible journey they had embarked upon. The sports day had not only solidified their place in the community, but had also inspired a wave of enthusiasm for future initiatives. With each event, they had seen firsthand how important it was to foster connections and promote well-being, and they were determined to keep that momentum going. One chilly evening, as they sat by the fireplace, Malik turned to Lisa with a spark of inspiration in his eyes. What if we organized a winter wellness retreat? He proposed. We could offer workshops, wellness activities, and even some fun winter sports like snowshoeing and sledding. Lisa's eyes lit up with excitement. That sounds fantastic. Malik, A retreat would be a great way to bring families together during the winter months, and it would provide a space for relaxation and self-care. We could incorporate mindfulness sessions and healthy cooking demonstrations. As they discussed the details, Malik's excitement grew. They envisioned a weekend retreat where families could escape the hustle and bustle of daily life, focusing instead on self-care, connection, and rejuvenation. They would rent a local lodge, create a cozy atmosphere, and offer a variety of activities for everyone to enjoy. With their plan in place, Malik wasted no time reaching out to local businesses for sponsorships and securing the lodge for the weekend. He crafted a detailed itinerary, ensuring a balance of activities that promoted both physical and mental wellness. Lisa helped him contact local health professionals and instructors who could lead sessions on mindfulness, nutrition, and physical fitness. As the retreat date approached, word spread quickly through the community. Families signed up eagerly, excited about the opportunity to take part in something that promised to be both enjoyable and enriching. The anticipation was palpable, and Malik felt a surge of pride as the retreat took shape. When the day finally arrived, the lodge was filled with warmth and laughter. Families arrived, bringing with them a sense of excitement and camaraderie. The inviting scent of hot cocoa wafted through the air as Malik greeted everyone, feeling a sense of belonging wash over him. "Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Let's kick off this retreat with a fun icebreaker to get to know each other," Malik announced, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. The families gathered in the main lodge, mingling and sharing their stories. After the icebreaker, Malik and Lisa led a yoga session, allowing everyone to stretch and relax after their journey. The calming atmosphere, combined with the sound of soft music and the gentle crackle of the fireplace, set the tone for a weekend focused on well-being. As the first day of the retreat unfolded, participants engaged in a variety of activities. They learned about nutrition from a local dietitian, participated in guided meditation sessions, and enjoyed outdoor activities like snowshoeing and sledding. Malik loved seeing families bonding, their laughter echoing through the snow-covered landscape. One family, the Parkers, stood out to Malik. They were a family of 4 with 2 children, and it was evident they had faced their own struggles. During a group discussion, Mr. Parker shared how balancing work and family had taken a toll on their health. Malik admired their openness and vulnerability, recognizing that many families shared similar experiences. "Thank you for creating this space for us to connect and share," Mrs. Parker said, her voice filled with emotion. "We've been feeling overwhelmed, and it's refreshing to be among others who understand." Malik felt a warmth in his heart as he listened to their stories. The retreat was not just about wellness. It was about creating a supportive community where families could uplift each other. On the second day of the retreat, Lisa led a healthy cooking demonstration, showcasing simple and nutritious recipes that families could prepare together. The kitchen buzzed with excitement as families gathered around, eager to learn and sample the dishes. Malik noticed the enthusiasm in the room as participants chopped vegetables, stirred pots, and shared cooking tips. It was a beautiful sight, families engaging in meaningful conversations while preparing delicious meals together. "This is amazing, Mom!" Malik exclaimed, watching as the room filled with laughter and the delightful aroma of healthy food. "Everyone is really getting into it." Lisa smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "It's wonderful to see families connecting over food. This is what it's all about, creating a sense of community and togetherness." As the retreat continued, Malik felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Each day brought new connections, new insights, and a renewed commitment to wellness. He saw how the families were transforming, sharing their stories, and supporting one another in their journeys. On the final evening of the retreat, Malik and Lisa planned a cozy gathering by the fireplace. They set up blankets and cushions, creating an inviting atmosphere for storytelling and reflection. Families settled in, eager to share their experiences and the lessons they had learned. As Malik opened the floor for sharing, he felt a wave of emotion. "Thank you all for being a part of this retreat. I'm so grateful to see how we've all come together to support one another. I'd love to hear what this experience has meant to you. One by one, families began to share their reflections. The Parkers spoke about how the retreat had rekindled their family bond, while another family shared how they had learned to prioritize self-care amidst their busy lives. This retreat has reminded us of the importance of taking breaks and finding joy in the little things. Mrs. Smith said, her eyes shining with gratitude. Thank you for creating this opportunity for us. As the stories flowed, Malik felt a deep connection with everyone in the room. They had created something special together, a space where love, support, and understanding thrived. As the night drew to a close, Malik felt overwhelmed with emotion. He realized that this retreat was not just a weekend getaway. It was a turning point for many families, including his own. They had come together to share their struggles, learn from one another, and foster a community centered around health and wellness. Let's continue this journey together, Malik suggested, his voice filled with hope. We've built something beautiful here, and I want us to keep supporting each other long after this retreat ends. As families nodded in agreement, Malik knew they were ready to embrace the future as a united community. The bonds they had formed during the retreat would carry on, inspiring others to prioritize their health and well-being. When the retreat came to an end, families exchanged hugs and contact information. Eager to stay connected, Malik felt a sense of accomplishment as he watched the friendships blossom, knowing that they had created something lasting. As they packed up the lodge and said their goodbyes, Malik turned to Lisa, his heart full. We did it, Mom. This retreat was amazing. Lisa wrapped her arm around him, pride radiating from her. You've grown so much. Malik, I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished. You've inspired so many people. Driving home, Malik reflected on the past few months. From the wellness workshops to the charity run and the winter retreat, they had built a community that embraced the importance of health and connection. Mom, I want to keep pushing forward, Malik said, determination in his voice. Let's plan more events and reach even more families. There's so much more we can do. Lisa nodded, her heart swelling with pride. Absolutely. Malik, we'll keep this momentum going. Together, we can make an even bigger impact. As they arrived home, Malik felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey they had embarked upon was far from over, and he knew that the support they had cultivated would only continue to grow. Together, they would face any challenge that lay ahead, united in their mission to uplift their community and prioritize health and well-being. And as they settled into their evening routine, Malik couldn't help but smile at the thought of what the future held. They were a family on a mission, and with each passing day, they were making the world a little brighter, a little healthier, and a little more connected. As spring approached in Maplewood, the air buzzed with energy and anticipation. The thawing temperatures and blooming flowers mirrored the growth of the community Malik and Lisa had nurtured over the past year. With each passing day, families continued to connect, and the initiatives they had started flourished, paving the way for new possibilities. Malik was particularly excited about the upcoming Spring Wellness Festival. After the success of the winter retreat, he and Lisa had decided to host a larger event that would bring together all the families in the community to celebrate health, well-being, and connection. They envisioned a day filled with workshops, activities for kids, healthy food, and local vendors showcasing their products. One evening, as they sat at the kitchen table brainstorming ideas, Malik felt a surge of inspiration. What if we include a community garden at the festival? We could show families how to grow their own fruits and vegetables and emphasize the importance of nutrition. Lisa's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. That's a brilliant idea. A community garden would not only educate families about healthy eating, but also promote teamwork and sustainability. We could even have a planting station at the festival where kids can plant seeds to take home. With renewed determination, they began to plan the festival, reaching out to local gardening clubs, health experts, and vendors who could contribute to the event. As they organized the logistics, Malik felt an overwhelming sense of purpose. They were creating something meaningful that could impact the entire community. As the date of the festival approached, excitement buzzed through Maplewood. Families signed up to participate, eager to embrace the festivities and learn about health and wellness. The response was beyond what Malik and Lisa had anticipated, and they felt a sense of responsibility to make the event truly special. On the day of the Spring Wellness Festival, the park was transformed into a vibrant hub of activity. Colorful tents dotted the landscape, and families gathered, laughter and chatter filling the air. Malik and Lisa arrived early, feeling the adrenaline of anticipation coursing through their veins. "Look at all these people," Malik exclaimed, scanning the crowd with awe. "I can't believe how many have shown up." Lisa beamed with pride. "You've done an incredible job organizing this." "Malik, it's amazing to see the community come together like this." As the festival kicked off, Malik welcomed everyone, his voice resonating with excitement. "Thank you all for being here today. This festival is a celebration of our community and a reminder of the importance of health and wellness. Let's make the most of this beautiful day together." With that, the activities began. Families participated in a variety of workshops, from gardening tips to nutrition advice and mindfulness practices. Malik moved through the crowd, engaging with participants, answering questions, and encouraging everyone to explore the different booths. One of the most popular attractions was the community garden planting station. Families gathered around, eager to plant seeds for vegetables and herbs. Malik led the activity, demonstrating how to plant the seeds and explaining the importance of nurturing them. "This is so cool," a little girl exclaimed as she carefully placed her seed into the soil. "I can't wait to watch it grow." Malik smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment as he watched the children embrace the experience. The excitement in their eyes reminded him of the importance of teaching the next generation about healthy eating and sustainable practices. As the day unfolded, Malik noticed families bonding over shared experiences. Parents exchanged stories about their journeys to prioritize health, while children formed new friendships as they participated in activities together. The sense of community was palpable, and Malik couldn't help but feel grateful for the connections that had blossomed. During a break in the activities, Malik spotted Ethan among the crowd, happily engaged in a gardening workshop. "Hey, Ethan, how's it going?" Malik called out, waving him over. "Great, I'm learning so much about growing vegetables," Ethan replied, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. "I can't wait to start my own garden at home." "That's awesome. You'll have to show me how it's going once you get it started," Malik said, feeling a sense of pride in Ethan's determination. As the afternoon progressed, Lisa took to the stage to lead a cooking demonstration, showcasing simple and nutritious recipes using seasonal ingredients. Families gathered around, eager to learn and sample the delicious dishes. "This dish is not only healthy, but also easy to make at home," Lisa explained as she chopped fresh vegetables. Cooking together as a family is a great way to bond and teach children about nutrition. Malik watched with admiration as his mother shared her knowledge with the community. She had transformed her own struggles into a source of inspiration for others, and he felt grateful to be by her side. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the festival, Malik gathered everyone for the closing ceremony. "Thank you all for making this festival such a success. Your participation and support mean the world to us. Together, we're building a healthier, stronger community." Applause erupted from the crowd, and Malik's heart swelled with pride. They had created a day filled with joy, learning, and connection, and he knew that the impact would be felt long after the festival ended. As families began to pack up and head home, Malik felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. They had nurtured a community that embraced the importance of health and well-being, and he knew that they would continue to build on this foundation. In the weeks that followed the festival, Malik and Lisa remained committed to their mission. They organized follow-up workshops, provided resources for families, and continued to engage with the community. The sense of connection that had developed among families fueled their efforts, and Malik felt a renewed sense of purpose. One day, while they were at home, Malik received a message from Ms. Thompson. "Malik, I have an exciting opportunity." The school board has approved funding for a summer wellness camp for kids, and I'd love for you to be involved in the planning. Malik's heart raced with excitement. That sounds amazing, he replied, eager to get started. What can I do to help? We'll need to create a curriculum that incorporates physical activity, nutrition education, and mental health awareness. Ms. Thompson explained, I think your experience with the workshops and retreats will be invaluable in shaping this program. Malik felt a surge of enthusiasm. He could already envision a summer filled with fun activities, learning, and connection for the kids in their community. Count me in. I can help develop activities and even lead some of the sessions. As summer approached, Malik dove into planning the wellness camp, working alongside Ms. Thompson and other educators to create a comprehensive program. They incorporated various activities, from outdoor games and sports to cooking classes and mindfulness practices. Meanwhile, Lisa continued to support Malik's efforts, sharing her own insights and encouraging him to take the lead in organizing the camp. Their bond grew stronger as they worked together, united by a shared vision of promoting health and well-being in their community. The day of the summer wellness camp arrived, and the excitement was palpable. Families gathered at the community center, eager to participate in the activities designed to inspire and empower their children. The air was filled with laughter and anticipation as kids raced around. Eager to get started, Malik welcomed everyone, his heart swelling with pride as he addressed the crowd. Thank you all for being here. We're going to have an amazing time learning, playing, and connecting with one another. Let's make this summer one to remember. As the camp unfolded, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. The kids participated in a range of activities, from team sports and creative arts to cooking and gardening workshops. They laughed, bonded, and explored new interests, all while learning valuable lessons about health and well-being. One afternoon, during a mindfulness session, Malik led the children through breathing exercises and guided meditation. He felt a profound sense of purpose as he watched them engage with the practice, their young faces reflecting a newfound sense of calm and focus. Great job, everyone, Malik praised as they concluded the session. Remember, taking time to breathe and reflect is just as important as staying active. As the weeks of the wellness camp flew by, Malik realized that he was not just helping others. He was also growing and learning alongside them. He forged connections with the children, witnessing their growth and transformation as they embraced the lessons being taught. One day, after a particularly successful workshop on nutrition, Malik received a heartfelt thank you note from a mother. Thank you for all you've done for our kids. This camp has made such a positive impact on my son. He's excited to try new foods and be active. You're truly making a difference. Reading the note, Malik felt a surge of gratitude. Moments like these reminded him of why they had embarked on this journey in the first place. They were creating a ripple effect of positivity and support within the community. And it was a beautiful thing to witness. As summer came to a close, Malik and Lisa took a moment to reflect on everything they had accomplished. The wellness camp had been a resounding success, and they had fostered a culture of health and connection in Maplewood. Malik, I couldn't be prouder of what you've achieved, Lisa said, her eyes shining with pride. You've grown into such a compassionate leader. It's incredible to see how you've impacted so many lives. Malik smiled, feeling a warmth in his heart. I couldn't have done it without your support. Mom, we make a great team. With the summer camp wrapping up, Malik and Lisa began to brainstorm ideas for the upcoming school year. They wanted to continue the momentum they had built, ensuring that the spirit of wellness remained alive in their community. Maybe we can start a wellness club at school, Malik suggested one evening. It could be a space for students to share ideas, plan events, and support each other in prioritizing health. Lisa nodded enthusiastically. That's a great idea. I can help you with the proposal to present to the school board. We can outline the benefits of having a wellness club and how it aligns with the school's mission. With renewed determination, Malik set to work drafting a proposal for the wellness club. He highlighted the importance of promoting health, mental well-being, and community support among students. When he presented it to the school board, he felt a mixture of nerves and excitement. I believe a wellness club would not only provide a space for students to connect, but also equip them with valuable tools for managing stress and prioritizing their health. He explained passionately. The board members listened attentively, and Malik felt a surge of confidence as he articulated his vision. After deliberation, they approved the proposal, and Malik's heart soared with joy. As the school year began, the wellness club quickly gained traction. Students eagerly joined, excited to participate in discussions, plan events, and support one another in their wellness journeys. Malik took on a leadership role, guiding the group and fostering a sense of belonging. They organized workshops on topics like stress management, nutrition, and mindfulness, ensuring that the club remained a space for learning and growth. Malik felt a deep sense of fulfillment as he watched his peers engage, share their experiences, and support one another. One afternoon, as the club gathered for a meeting, Malik opened the floor for ideas. What do you all want to focus on this semester? We can plan events that resonate with everyone's interests. A student raised her hand, her eyes shining with excitement. I think we should have a mental health awareness week. We could invite speakers, host activities, and create a safe space for students to talk about their feelings. Malik nodded, thrilled with the idea. That's a fantastic suggestion. Mental health is so important, and raising awareness will help reduce stigma and encourage others to seek support. As the planning began, Malik felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were building a community where mental health was prioritized and celebrated, and he was proud to be part of that change. With the support of the Wellness Club, they launched the Mental Health Awareness Week, filled with workshops, guest speakers, and activities designed to promote self-care and emotional well-being. Malik was thrilled to see the school rally around the initiative. As students engaged in discussions, participated in mindfulness sessions, and learned about coping strategies, the energy was infectious, and he could feel the positive impact spreading throughout the school. By the end of the week, Malik reflected on how far they had come, from the initial struggles with his mother's health to building a thriving community centered around well-being. He knew they had created something meaningful. With each event, workshop, and initiative, Malik realized that they were not just promoting health. They were fostering a culture of care and support in Maplewood. Together, they were transforming lives, one family at a time. As winter approached once again, Malik and Lisa continued to plan for the future. They envisioned more events, more opportunities for families to connect, and more ways to promote health and wellness in their community. Sitting together one evening, Malik turned to Lisa, a smile spreading across his face. We've accomplished so much. Mom, I can't wait to see what's next for us. Lisa wrapped her arm around him, pride shining in her eyes. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together. Our journey is far from over, and I'm excited to see how we can continue to inspire and uplift our community. With that, they embraced, knowing that they were on a path filled with promise, hope, and the unwavering strength of community. Together, they would continue to make Maplewood a place where families thrived, connections flourished, and health was prioritized, paving the way for a brighter future. As the winter holidays approached in Maplewood, the community was abuzz with excitement. The successes of the previous year had set a precedent, and Malik and Lisa were determined to close the year on a high note with a special holiday wellness event. They wanted to create an opportunity for families to come together, celebrate, and reflect on the journey they had taken toward health and well-being. One evening, while brainstorming ideas over hot cocoa, Malik suggested, what if we organized a holiday wellness fair? We could have festive activities, healthy holiday cooking demonstrations, and workshops focused on maintaining wellness during the holiday season. Lisa's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. That sounds perfect. The holidays can be a stressful time for families, and providing resources and support would be incredibly valuable. We could even include a section for gratitude and mindfulness activities. With their vision in mind, Malik and Lisa set to work planning the event. They reached out to local businesses for sponsorships and invited health professionals to lead workshops. Flyers were distributed throughout the community, and excitement grew as families signed up to participate. As the date of the holiday wellness fair approached, Malik and Lisa's anticipation only heightened. They envisioned a warm, welcoming atmosphere filled with the spirit of community and connection. The fair would feature booths for local vendors showcasing healthy holiday products, cooking demonstrations with a focus on nutritious recipes, and interactive workshops that encouraged mindfulness and gratitude. On the day of the event, the community center was transformed into a winter wonderland. Festive decorations adorned every corner, and the aroma of healthy holiday treats filled the air. Families arrived with smiles on their faces, and Malik felt a surge of joy as he watched the community come together. "Welcome, everyone! We're so glad you could join us for our holiday wellness fair," Malik announced as he took to the stage. "Today is all about celebrating our community, supporting one another, and embracing health during this special season." The crowd erupted in cheers, and Malik felt a rush of gratitude. They had created something beautiful, a space where families could connect, learn, and support each other. As the activities kicked off, Malik noticed families engaging in various workshops. Lisa led a cooking demonstration, showcasing healthy alternatives to traditional holiday dishes. Participants watched eagerly as she prepared a festive quinoa salad and a guilt-free pumpkin pie. "This is delicious," a mother exclaimed, sampling the pumpkin pie. "I can't believe it's healthy." "That's the magic of cooking. Healthy doesn't have to mean boring," Lisa replied, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Meanwhile, Malik facilitated mindfulness activities, guiding families through breathing exercises and gratitude journaling. He encouraged participants to reflect on what they were thankful for and how they could prioritize self-care during the busy holiday season. Remember, taking time for ourselves is essential, especially during the holidays. Malik emphasized, "Let's focus on what truly matters: connection, love, and well-being." As the day unfolded, the sense of community deepened. Families participated in interactive games, created handmade holiday cards to send to local nursing homes, and engaged in discussions about maintaining mental health during the holidays. Malik watched with joy as children and parents alike bonded over shared experiences, laughter, and creativity. In the afternoon, Malik introduced a special segment dedicated to sharing stories of resilience. Families were invited to come forward and share their journeys, struggles, and triumphs in prioritizing health and well-being. The atmosphere shifted, filled with warmth and vulnerability as individuals opened up about their experiences. One woman spoke about the challenges she had faced as a single parent, struggling to balance work and family life. Finding time for self-care felt impossible. But with the support of this community, "I've learned that it's okay to ask for help," she shared, her voice filled with emotion. "You don't have to go through it alone." Malik felt a wave of compassion wash over him. These stories reinforced the importance of their mission, to create a culture of support and connection. He encouraged others to share their experiences, fostering a space where vulnerability was met with understanding and empathy. As the fair drew to a close, Malik felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. They had created a memorable event that not only promoted health and wellness, but also strengthened the bonds within the community. During the final moments of the fair, Malik gathered everyone for a closing ceremony. "Thank you all for being a part of our holiday wellness fair. Your participation and support mean everything to us. Together, we've built a community that values health, connection, and resilience." The crowd erupted in applause, and Malik's heart swelled with pride. They had fostered a culture of support that would continue to thrive long after the fair ended. As families began to pack up and head home, Malik felt a deep sense of gratitude. They had turned what could have been a stressful season into a celebration of health and community. The connections formed during the fair would resonate throughout Maplewood, creating a legacy of wellness. In the weeks that followed, the spirit of the holiday wellness fair lingered. Families continued to connect, sharing healthy recipes, attending workshops, and supporting one another in their journeys toward well-being. Malik and Lisa remained committed to their mission, planning for future initiatives that would further strengthen their community. One day, Malik received a call from Ms. Thompson, who excitedly shared news of an opportunity to collaborate with the local school district. Malik, I've been in touch with the district, and they're interested in implementing wellness programs in schools across the area. They want you to be involved in the planning process. Malik's heart raced with excitement. This is incredible. I'd love to be a part of it. We can create a curriculum that promotes health and well-being for students in all grades. Over the next few weeks, Malik worked closely with Ms. Thompson and the school district to develop a comprehensive wellness program. They incorporated lessons on nutrition, physical activity, mental health, and mindfulness, ensuring that students received the tools they needed to prioritize their health. As the program launched in schools, Malik felt a deep sense of purpose. They were reaching not only families in Maplewood, but also students across the district, empowering the next generation to embrace health and wellness. In the months that followed, Malik continued to engage with the community, organizing events that emphasized the importance of well-being. The ripple effect of their efforts became evident as families prioritized their health, supported one another, and built lasting connections. One day, while volunteering at the local food bank, Malik reflected on the journey they had taken. He watched families come together to support one another, sharing meals and resources in times of need. The spirit of community was alive and well, and Malik knew that their work was far from over. As spring returned to Maplewood, Malik and Lisa planned for another wellness festival, eager to continue building on the momentum they had created. They envisioned a day filled with joy, connection, and celebration of health, inviting families to come together once more. The day of the festival arrived, and the park was once again transformed into a vibrant hub of activity. Families gathered, laughter filling the air as they participated in workshops, engaged in physical activities, and connected over healthy meals. Malik felt a surge of pride as he moved through the crowd, witnessing the connections that had flourished. They had built a community that supported one another, and he knew that their efforts would continue to resonate for years to come. As he closed the festival with heartfelt words of gratitude, Malik realized that they had created a legacy of wellness in Maplewood. Their journey had begun with personal struggles, but it had blossomed into something far greater, a movement that celebrated health, connection, and community. In the months and years to come, Malik and Lisa continued to champion wellness initiatives, ensuring that the spirit of support and care remained alive in Maplewood. They watched as the community flourished, families thrived, and the bonds of connection grew stronger. Malik knew that they had made a lasting impact, one that would inspire future generations to prioritize their health and well-being. And as he looked out at the vibrant community they had helped create, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the journey they had taken together. Together, they had forged a path of resilience, connection, and love, a legacy that would endure for years to come, reminding everyone that, no matter the challenges they faced, they were never alone. In the heart of Maplewood, they had built not just a community, but a family, united in their mission to uplift one another and embrace the beauty of life. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey through Malik and Lisa's story in Maplewood. Their dedication to building a healthier, more connected community reminds us of the power we hold when we come together. We hope you found motivation in their experiences and are inspired to prioritize wellness in your own lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, let's continue to foster connection, compassion, and well-being for all. See you next time.